Hi, it's so nice to be here. The news is pretty depressing lately, so to lighten the mood, I've started watching true crime. I feel bad for the amount of true crime that I consume, but to be fair, women, we don't watch true crime. Technically, we study it to make sure we don't end up on it. And true crime is kind of feminist. It's the only time the entertainment industry will take a chance on an unknown female lead. You've all seen Making a Murderer. If you haven't, it's a documentary about how a woman's death made so much money for Netflix. And then the podcasts, there's Serial, My Favorite Murder, Missing and Murdered, Up and Vanished, Wine and Crime, White Wine True Crime Brewery, True Crime All the Time, What the Crime, Crime Town, Crime Junkie, Cold Case, Killer Instincts, To Live and Die in LA, Someone Knows Something, Man in the Window, Body in the Moor. Southern Fried True Crime, Drunk Women Solving Crime, which I'm actually on, pretty cool. These are just a couple. This American Death doesn't exist yet, but that's going to be my retirement plan. Because true crime makes so much money. It's a great business model. For one, you don't have to pay residuals. Dead women are way less difficult on set. Have any of you ever worked with a live woman? Oh my God. So entitled. Here's my impression of a live woman breathing. It's just like, I'm alive. True crime is quickly becoming one of America's leading exports. In late-stage capitalism, all the manufacturing jobs are going overseas, but dead women are the one thing we still make in America. I didn't realize how obsessed America was with dead white women in particular until it occurred to me that Ted Bundy has 2 Netflix specials. And yeah, I'm jealous. I don't know if you've seen the Ted Bundy tapes. I keep wanting to call them the Ted Bundy mixtapes. Something about the graphic design is just so 70s, so retro. It's like they want to make you nostalgic for an era when men could just murder women and get away with it because there was no Google Earth. And then the scripted movie on Netflix starring Zac Efron, written and directed by men, where they made the craziest person in that movie, Carol Ann Boone, the woman who dated Ted Bundy while he was in prison. They made Carol look so much crazier than a man who murdered 30 people. And I was watching that thinking, Carol Ann is not crazy. She's just a woman dating in her 30s. Carol Ann's crazy? Carol Ann's crazy, really? What does that say about all the men outside of prison she would have dated, but Ted Bundy was nicer to her? Carol Ann, Care Bear, just wanted to meet a guy who wasn't gonna ghost her after she slept with him. It's hard to ghost someone from jail. Unless you're Jeff Epstein. Aww. It's not like he killed himself, you guys. The docuseries was even worse because there was all this archival footage of Ted Bundy in the courtroom with all the police officers, and Ted was just killing it. That's comedian slang for slaughtering. He murdered in that courtroom. He basically slayed. He had all the cops just doubled over in stitches, laughing at not even jokes, and the lights were on. And his audience was giving him way more love than you guys are giving me for this bit. Why do I even try? If Ted Bundy were alive today, he'd be on his 3rd Netflix special. It would be his apology tour. And he'd be traveling around the country being like, when my friends and I realized it was wrong to kill women, we felt so bad about it. Also, I didn't appreciate how the cops painted Ted Bundy as a criminal mastermind. He wasn't a criminal mastermind. He was white. And they weren't looking for him. I'm not saying cops are racist. Just that maybe cops are as racist as comedians are funny. Not all comedians are funny. But if someone's like, I'm a comedian, you're like, oh, you're probably pretty funny. Same thing with cops. Ted Bundy, also not an evil genius. Here's how I know Ted Bundy wasn't that smart. He was a Republican politician in Utah as he started murdering women. And if he were really ahead of the curve, he would have just stayed the course of politics, risen to the top, and then killed so many more women with his policies. Picture a version of the movie Sliding Doors, but Ted Bundy actually made the train, and then he's Ted Cruz. Thank you guys so much. Have a good night.